Ragnarok is the end of the world. The Norse gods, no matter how bravely they fought, believed their doomsday was inevitable. On Ragnarok, the earth would tremble as Sitrir, king of the fire giants, would split open the skies with a sword brighter than the sun. His army would break Bifrost, Odin's rainbow bridge, and cover the earth in fire. As the gods fought to their doom, Fenrir the wolf in his death throes would swallow the sun, leaving the world to freeze in an endless winter. But Mathias Rust stopped Ragnarok. He's not a Norse god, or found on comic book pages, and if he wears a Viking helmet, it's in the privacy of his own living room. But Mathias Rust stopped Ragnarok. At age 19, he saved the world. At the University of Chicago, the doomsday clock counts down the minutes until the world ends. 35 atomic detonations can cover the Earth in a decade of nuclear winter. In 1982, the human race had 20,000 warheads, because Ronald Reagan and Leonid Brezhnev couldn't stop counting reasons to kill each other. In 1984, the doomsday clock was 3 minutes to midnight, and mutual assured destruction was just a matter of time. In May of 1987, Mathias Rust flew his Cessna from West Germany to Iceland. He visited the Hofty House, where negotiators from NATO and the Warsaw Pact failed to believe the other side loved their own children more than they hated the others. Mathias Rust then flew to Finland and left Helsinki for Stockholm, Sweden, with visions of how Norse gods saw their inevitable doomsday. Somewhere over the smooth Baltic Sea, he couldn't help but notice how the forests in Sweden on his right and those in Russia on his left were beautiful and identical. And somewhere over the sea, terrified by the thought of those trees burning at Ragnarok, he turned east toward Moscow. At 19 years old, Mathias wanted to become a rainbow bridge. Reagan, Gorbachev, and the Norse gods didn't see how easy peace could be. Matthias parted the Iron Curtain into the most well-defended skies in the Cold War, and 3 surface-to-air missile sites locked on. 2 MiG interceptors rose for the weapons bristling for the easy kill, while in the cockpit, Matthias heard pilots asking for permission to shoot him down. They saw the West German flag on the tail and made eye contact, but no one on the ground believed. The Soviet Air Force thought Matthias was just a lost Russian. He forgot to turn his radio on. For 5 hours, missile sites, one by one, locked on but tagged him a friendly, and 3 more pairs of MiGs intercepted his plane, but generals on the ground were blinded by a rainbow. In the ring of steel around Moscow, missile sites designed to shoot down the entire American bomber force weren't built to fire on Matthias, and he landed his plane in Red Square. Russians, visiting the mummified body of Vladimir Lenin, the man who began the Cold War, crowded to see the 19-year-old boy who would end it. For their failure to stop a boy landing a dream for peace in Red Square, Warhawk Soviet generals were fired faster than a Stalin purge, and Mikhail Gorbachev stood unopposed. He signed missile treaties, and one by one let former republics declare their freedom. Finally sent back west, Matthias watched the Berlin Wall fall 9 months later. At the University of Chicago, the doomsday clock measuring how close we are to suicide, tick, tick, tick back time, pushing Ragnarok further away. Now our children don't have to worry about Fenrir swallowing the sun in the 12 minutes between missile silo mistake and the nuclear impact, because Matthias was just a little bit crazy and a whole lot of lucky. So never let anyone tell you that you're too young to change the world. It doesn't take a Norse god, just a dreamer like Matthias or you, risking your life to become a rainbow. If we leave it to the gods, the world may still end on fire on doomsday. But if you sacrifice and become that rainbow, Ragnarok may still come, but it won't be today.